Thank you, and thank you. Thank you, Mark, from Asia Ability for spicing up. And I think our beautiful MC has just put everybody back to sleep by reading my biodata. But looking from what happened in the room earlier on just now, I'm not sure whether the team building is, following the SOP of the Kementerian Kesihatan. People are too close. Anyway, it is indeed a great honor and a privilege for me to speak at this Meet in Malaysia at MBEW. So it's a lot of acronym to say. I've been given this particular topic by MySEP. I think this is a great initiative for MySEP to continue to have conversation with stakeholders and to have all of you still stay up to this 2:30. That's already a good sign. This topic is such a difficult topic. It is out of my comfort zone. And for those who knows ICCA, we are the international associations that focus into meetings organized by international associations. So we are the peak body. But talking about sustainability in today's meeting business is not really my cup of tea. So I will try my best because this is just a difficult topic, and especially after sumptuous lunch. The reality is, what is the reality? If some of you can shout at me, what is the current reality that we are in today? Say, fear. Good. Anyone else? Say again? Anxiety. I can see from your face. We are in uncharted territory. We are unsure. We are unsafe. It's a lot of That is a very negative tone that we have. So this is the reality that we are facing today. I'm just a small guy speaking about the huge topic that everybody's been talking about, COVID-19. I'm not a medical expert. I have a lot more questions in my mind when I was asked to do this kind of presentation in the next 40 minutes. So what I did was, I put up 3 things that I would like to touch or maybe share with you today. And I'm just giving you the concept, hopefully that you can think further how you can sustain your business. I'm not a businessman, I'm not Alibaba, but I hope that these 3 different areas is something that I can share with you. The hard question that I'm going to pose to you, because this is your session, not mine. Secondly, I'm going to have some friends from the region giving a little bit of update what's happening in their respective destination. And then I'd like to link to some of my heroes, which I hope that will be your heroes that we can emulate going forward. So back to my drawing board, putting up this presentation. I have a lot more questions instead of answers. So again, I hope that you can pull out your smartphones, catch this particular, we already gone into the question. Do you still need that QR code earlier on? Can we show the QR code for a couple more seconds, please? Okay, the QR code is there. I need your cooperation to do this. So we go back to the first question, please. This is just a test question because earlier on in the morning when we had the QR code, not many people are responding to the Slido. Now I can really see how many people are responding. So as you can see on the top right of the screen is a number of people that logged in and answered. So there are 23. Oh, this is a good crowd. That's good. And of course, this is just a test question, a warm-up question. We go to the second question, please. So who are you? So at least I have some idea, and you have some idea who are the people in the room. I would think that some of the government people has left because the front row is quite empty here. But there's a lot of hoteliers here, people working for convention venues, PCO, POs, and event companies, media. We still have a small group of people that nobody important. But I'm sure that you are very important to me at least. Okay, so there are about 40, 50 people here, but I guess in this room there are a bit more. I hope slowly you will join us in this questionnaire because these questionnaires that I'm putting up are all the questions that I have in my mind that eventually I want to share with myself as a result of this particular segment. So next question, please. So those first two questions are easy one, and now we go to something that is a bit more difficult. Why are you here today? I'm here today because I have to speak. No free lunch. So we still have 16% of 18% of people that is coming here because the boss asked them to come, which is good. And good because at least you still got a job. So you got invited by MySep. You cannot turn down MySep invitation. You know, we are just social animal. Think about this, because we've been locked down for a couple of months. The whole body become itchy. We want to go out. So MCO is lifted. We go first place is supermarket. That is like heaven. And then we go shopping mall. And then we venture out. And then the minute the government says that you can travel to another state, the whole highway get jammed. That's Malaysian, right? And then now we get this live event. So we are so social animal. So that's good to see that this is the number and more people are responding. Can we go to the next question? There are only 9 questions altogether. And the next question is, how bad is your business being affected by COVID-19? 5 is the worst, 1 is the least affected. So if you come from a very, very rich company, 1 would be your answer. So 73% agree that your business has been affected. Wow, is that scary? But the reality is. Can we go to the next question, please? Do you apply for any government support fund? We have read in the media, for example, in Australia, the government provide funding, even for those people in the meeting industry that went on furlough. In Singapore, if you work for hotel or convention centers, and if you're out of job, the government will pay at least 1/3 of your salary. I'm not sure how about that in Malaysia. We can see that some initiative done by MySep providing funding, but whether this is funding to the company or funding to your individual. So yes, 47% applied and 43% no, and 11% not sure where to apply. So I would suggest that 11% go out and meet MySep after this so that you know where to apply. There are so many kind of initiative done by the government, whether it's Penjana or HRDF or training. Please look out what is out there. Otherwise, you'll be missing the boat. Next question, please. Do you think that the government should financially support companies in the business event sector? This question really means that you need money. You need money from the government. Small company need small amount of money. Okay? You know where I'm getting at? Big company need bigger amount of money. So if you're a big hotel, big convention centers, your cost is high. I was talking to a couple of colleagues this morning and also earlier during lunch. For you to sustain the venue like this, you can't keep the venue not running the air condition, the staff, the manpower, the cleanliness, and so forth. It's just like a house being abandoned for a couple of weeks. Everything will get destroyed, correct? So it's high cost for you. So majority says that the government must fund you. So I remember when I was in my school days, we have a scholarship called FAMA, Father and Mother. So now our FAMA is the government. So next question, please. So this is all the obvious answers to the question. During this reopening, because Malaysia is one of the fortunate countries that has been reopened, do you think rebranding of your product and services is important? It's a multiple choice, so you can click 1 or twice. There's still a lot of people in the crowd which is very honest. I like it very much because you say that you don't have enough money to think about rebranding because you're thinking about survival. That's the situation is. So obviously we can see a high percentage that think that rebranding is important. But then if you answer this particular saying that rebranding is important, I want you to ask yourself and try to answer that in your own mind. Will rebranding change the situation? will the new rebranding bring in new business when there's no business? We are in the business event industry. People meet people. Whether it's domestic event, regional event, or international event, until the borders is open, then only you will have again a taste of the regional and international business. So what does the rebranding got to do with your getting your revenue now? Because any rebranding is not a cheap exercise. It's an expensive exercise. You can change your answer now, but it's a bit too late. We go to the next question, please. The guys at the back of the room, they have been doing a fantastic job from this morning. So, well done. The next question is, how long can you survive this pandemic? This is a serious question. I want you to answer with all honesty. Of course, we don't know who is answering, so everybody's anonymous. So less than 6 months. Can your company still exist without any proper income for the next 2 years? Less than 2 years, 20%. 1 year, 32%. Just imagine, there's no vaccine, and there's a possibility that we will live just like this. I'll be here next year, again for next year MBEW, just like this. Imagine. And by next year, I would think we will not have that many people in the room because you won't survive. I probably will not survive. This is a scary part of the situation. We had the guy earlier on, Mark, getting you re-energized, and then now this guy came in and giving you all this bad, negative feeling about the whole world and life. Next question, please. In your own words, how can you rebuild confidence? Can we keep this question for the next session? We go back to the slides, please. Change to the slides. Okay. So that is the part of the question that I want to ask you. And this is the answers that you have given that I will share with my side, which is very important. It looks like our industry is fragile. Our industry is not strong. Our cash flow is bad. I'm not saying just you. Includes us as international associations. Any associations, we depend on our membership fee, on our events, our activities, and we are suffering just like you because there's no international business that's going on. So I promise you I have a couple of friends. This is one of my friends, Jane Lin from Xiamen, and let us see what she has to say. Can you play the video, please?
Hello， 马来西亚的朋友们，大家好，我叫 Jane， 来自厦门，中国。Hello, dear friends from Malaysia. This is Jane from Xiamen, China. I'm currently standing at the riverbank outside my office. Xiamen is a very beautiful and romantic coastal island, which locates right across Taiwan Straits and is only 4 hours flight away from Malaysia. Thanks to government's effective measures, Xiamen has been no locally transmitted cases since April. Situation here now is quite safe, and everybody is required to wear a mask when taking public transportation. I'm at the subway station right now. And Xiamen is already suitable to host grand MICE events. We developed a mature pandemic control system to guarantee participants' safety in convention exhibitions. Referring to our calculation in July, altogether 13 exhibitions, 218 conferences have been successfully held, bringing profit of more than 1.14 billion RMB, which is more than 690 million Malaysia ringgit. Though the numbers cannot compete with previous years, we can still see that the industry is gradually bouncing back. About 18 days later, which is on September 8th, we are going to host the 2020 China International Fair for Investment and Trade, or we call it CIFIT in abbreviation. The event is well accepted as the world's largest expo featuring bilateral investment and trade. The total exhibition space of the CIFIT will exceed 100,000 square meters, and about 50,000 professional delegates are expected to attend. To answer the challenge, Xiamen is now applying new technologies to help the industry develop more smartly. For example, the CIFIT, the grand event I mentioned before, has developed an app called Online CIFIT. Introducing 3D virtual booth, live broadcast on conferences, and customized investment information flow to help participants who cannot attend on site to explore business opportunities. Our Our bureau has also developed a Xiamen MICE public information service platform, offering visitors convenience to see the city's overview, learn MICE policies, find out local suppliers, and apply for incentives in only one stop. In late November, we are going to host 2020 Xiamen International MICE Week. An ICCA management team was in Xiamen International MICE Week last year, and this year the MICE Week will be done in hybrid way, and all of you will be welcome to join us. Besides, we are also active in ICCA online webinars for knowledge and the current global MICE circle situation. It's true that the horrible pandemic does pose devastating impact on MICE sector, but things are getting back on track now, and we still have great faith on the industry's future. And what's more important, the pandemic also pushed us to be innovative. The way we think, the things we create, might elevate the industry to the next level. I hope I can visit Malaysia again after the pandemic, and I can't wait to meet all of you here. Selamat datang ke Xiamen, and terima kasih.
So there's unscripted, except for the ICA part, which I forced her to say a few things there, here and there. But I think it's just amazing how China is coming back in their business. Xiamen is just a second-tier city in China, and the amount of business that they have accumulated over the last few months is just amazing. It's not as good as previously, as she said, but I think the positive point that we can take up from what she has said is that they are striving very, very hard. You know, big economy, but there's also big expenses to cover. So we will have a few other guests coming in a bit later. So the point that I wanted to make is that when COVID-19 hit us, so these are some of the things that we Malaysians do as a community in the business event industry. A lot of organizations do research and data analysis. We do upskilling and so forth and so forth. But I just realized that what we have done is the same thing that's being done by any other countries around the world. Exactly. So this is what I call as the copy economy. So have you heard of the word copy economy? Of course not, because I just called it up this morning. So this is a copy economy. So especially in this thriving time, this competitive time, this is the thing that we need to think about. We at International Association, we're not only talking about survival, we're also talking about how can we be better? How can we survive in the future in a different environment? So the question that we have to ask ourselves as a community in Malaysia is, how would Malaysia do differently to stay on top of the game? You know, the first thing that Malaysians will do is we do ahli jawatan kuasa. For those that doesn't understand Malay, that means you create a committee. The committee will consist of government people and some industry people, the stakeholders, meet together, brainstorm and say, this is what we're going to do. But in other destinations, for example, like Melbourne, what they did was they brought not just the people from the business event industry, but they brought people, 70% not from the business event industry. They brought people like the farmers, they brought scholars, they brought young generation with different point of view, and they also bring people from the gig economy. You know, gig economy, just like, you know, all those Grab, Food Panda, you work, you get paid. So imagine if you're working for hotel and venues, you work, you get paid. You don't work, you don't get paid according to what you deliver. So people are moving towards this gig economy, and I think this is a challenge with the business event industry because you have to employ somebody, pay them full salary and all the benefits, and then they might work. Gig economy, I have my motorcycle, you order, I get the order, I'll pick up and I deliver. Once I deliver, I get paid. But it works. So this is a question that we have to ask ourselves, whether are we going to change our business model? And I think also one of the items that I mentioned in that list is that upskill. Upskill is becoming like the trendy word now, upskilling. But according to the Hokkaido University, Professor Tomoko, he says that hashtag, you can read the word yourself, because to learn is 70% the ability of an individual. To unlearn, only 10% succeed. You have seen something, you cannot unseen. It's not easy. You're driving on the highway and then suddenly there's an accident. You saw the accident. You cannot say that I didn't see an accident. It's just like learning. especially we are in the business event industry, we are so used of running things the way we do. Booth, setup, carpet, electrical, conference room, table, chairs. The minute these things being disrupted by COVID, we are lost. And then we say that Zoom is a bad competitor. They are not. They are just an enabler. So unlearn is not easy. So where do we learn? Where do we start? So I have another colleague. My colleagues are all beautiful girls around the world, by the way. Can we play the video of Jen from Singapore?
Hi everyone, this is Genevieve and I lead the association's team here in Marina Bay Sands, Singapore. COVID has affected the world and the way we live and interact. Singapore has adopted a very safe and phased approach in reopening the economy. At this moment, business events are not allowed to take place in Singapore. However, this week, Singapore will pilot test the newly developed risk management framework for business event. We are hopeful that if this event is run successfully and smoothly, Singapore government will allow similar events that can implement the safety measures to gradually resume. And here in Marina Bay Sands, we've taken this time to upskill and invest in our team members and talent pool to ensure that we are best equipped to drive meaningful conversations with our clients, their communities, and to help them reimagine the future. The digital event strategies and CMP certifications are examples of how we've been leveraging global meeting industry certification and accreditation to raise the talent profile of our industry. And also, as you might have already seen on LinkedIn and in social media, that the Marina Bay Sands had recently launched our hybrid broadcast studio. It operates like a media center grade live broadcast center. It is holographic presence enabled, immersive tech driven, AR, VR and MR capable to serve as a platform for our clients to drive their content and excite their audiences like never before. So till we fly again, take care, stay safe, enjoy your conference. Here's Genevieve signing off from Singapore.
So in Malaysia, we call it MCO. In Singapore, they call it circuit breaker. And obviously, she's from her room. And over the last few days, I said, I need somebody to speak in my session, not just me alone. It would be boring. So I start doing a list, and apparently it's all female. But the point here is that Marina Bay Sands, knowing that they are still in circuit breaker, has brought in all the technologies, some of their in-house IT people, to set up the first AR, VR facilities. Imagine, we don't have one yet in Malaysia. So we are having this committee to talk about what we need to have. So the committee will decide in the next 6 months. They have done this. In fact, in Singapore, there are 2 AR, VR studios. So when you host event like this, you will be really, really high-tech. You're talking about 5G feed, satellite, and so forth. So this is what they're going to do, what they have done, because they know that we're going to stay in this environment for a longer time. I don't think COVID is going to live in the next 1 or 2 months. We're going to live with this pandemic for maybe the rest of our life. So I think this is so insightful because Singapore business is based on service. And that's what they have themselves. They do not have palm oil like Malaysia, and other resources. So I think this is a good thing that they have done, which should be a learning point for us across the strait. Talking about hybrid event, virtual event, just a quick plug. ICCA ourselves, as a global association, we are running our event hybrid this year, this November, live from Kaohsiung. But even having hybrid, we have a very small community in Taiwan that will not be able to have a large group of people attending because the border is not still open. So what we are doing is that we are creating what we call regional hub for members, pockets from different parts of the world to come and join our Congress. We're going to have hub in Malaga, in Spain, Luxembourg in Europe, also in Riyadh, Middle East, Cape Town for Africa. And also, I'm happy to say that Kuching also won the bid, and they're going to host the regional hub, so all the Malaysians can attend the ICCA Congress in Kuching if you can't go to Kaohsiung. The point here is that these are the things that you need to think about, how to keep yourself survive as an association or you as a supplier. So what the future? So what the future? I don't have the answer of what the future. I think this is what the future is going to look like. I'm just using this as one example because I think IATA, I'm sure that you know IATA, is a respected organization, and they come up with this graph. It's scary to see that 2024, you have still not recovered from COVID. Imagine for a second that 2020, in the red area, we are nowhere near recovery. We are just reopening. And then 2021, we are still in the transition space because the vaccine is not coming in yet. And even if it come in, we're not sure because there's a lot of new hybrid, of this COVID coming up, which is even more deadly and dangerous. So this is a scary situation. So what's the future? This is what we're going to live with for the rest of our life. So this is a question. Can you change the slide, please? It's not moving. Okay, thank you. So this particular surgeon, he has a live event in Europe, which is about 3,000 delegates, and they say they went on virtual, fully virtual, and he says it's not a new normal anymore. It's going to be a new balance, and not the sneakers, yeah? New Balance. It's the new balance that we have to deal in our life. I come from the old school. I'm a bit old compared to many of you in the room. So in 1998, we know this movie called Zorro. This is how face masks look like. For the younger generation, face masks look something else. So don't get too close, just like the bumper sticker that you normally have. This is the thing that we have to go through. And of course, when I told you earlier on, I would mention a few local heroes. I think this is one of my local heroes, and I'm sure that all of you would agree that he's one of our true heroes. Tan Sri, Dr. Muhammad Hisham Abdullah kan? Everybody knows his name. From nobody to somebody. So, this is his advice. He's been telling us again and again, jika SOP patuh, macam ni. Kalau buat grup macam tadi, kena sakit balik jadi merah. So, this is what's going to happen to us in the long run. And I'm sure that you are familiar with some of these names. They are not names of your friends or colleagues, but name of the cluster. Imagine if we in the business event industry are not careful enough. Do you think that one day we will have the KKM to announce we have the business event cluster? Luckily, I'm not part of that group doing this exercise just now, earlier. So this is scary because, as every day grows, we have this new cluster coming in, not just in Malaysia, but all over the world. And they wouldn't have Elsa from that cartoon, right? And I think the key word here is be responsible. We as a community business event has to be responsible. Earlier on, we talked about, being green, being sustainable, but now it's all about life and death. And this is again the nasihat from our KP, our Kementerian Kesihatan, all the things that you need to do, which I do not need to repeat. But one important is I have another lady friend, also in ICCA colleague from Kuching. Can we play her video, please? I called her over the weekend. This is what he did on Sunday morning.
Hi, greetings from Sarawak. My name is Mona Abdul Manap and I'm from Place Borneo. We are a professional conference organizer based in Kuching. We have an office in KL and Sabah. In Sarawak right now, we're just in the yellow zone, just getting out of the sun. We're just in yellow zone just yesterday, so that's not a good sign. We don't know when we're going to be back in business, but in the meantime, what we've done, we've started a Tuesday Talk Live, which is a fortnight show, a webinar that we started during MCO. We want to help the industry players with information by talking to speakers from around the world, from Malaysia. And in the company, we've done reskilling, retraining of the staff, since we're not doing anything, not much, of anything. But I must say that I'm very thankful to the government through the Malaysian Convention and Exhibition Bureau and our very own Sarawak Convention Bureau for the stimulus packages that they've given us, and also through the banks with the soft loans for tourism players. That really really helped a lot. So thank you very much for that one. In the meantime, I really hope that this pandemic will blow over so that we will all be back in business. But for the time being, we're catching up on our lives. We're tuning down. As business events people, we're very busy people, and this is the time for us to catch up with our lives, to go jogging, and to be a bit more relaxed. Until then, I hope that this whole thing will blow over soon, like I said. Thank you very much. That's it.
Nice smile. So, how many of you know Mona? Can I see hands? Oh, quite a big fan, yeah. The mother PCO, daughter PCO, and then COVID came, become MCO. So this is the challenge that we have in our business event industry. I think it's not fair if I just call in friends who are female to speak to you over video. I also have one male friend. He's from the White House. I'm sure that all of you know him.
I am a man that comes from a very positive school when it comes to, in particular, one.
No, I'm not going to play the whole video because he spoke about he's buying all the vaccine for the whole American citizen. So anyway, we leave him good luck for his next election year. But anyway, another concept that I would like to leave you this before I go in the next 8-9 minutes is that this theme of the session of Meet in Malaysia today is talking about rebuilding confidence. Can you have the earlier slide, please? Our IT team was a bit too fast, a bit too advanced. Rebuilding confidence. And if you look carefully in that small photo that I put in, this is a concept that a lot of people are talking about now, because when you are doing research, especially in this difficult time, when you put all the dots together, those are data. And when you get to connect a couple of points as information, data translate into information. And then when you start connecting, the right information become knowledge, and so forth and so forth. But you connect too much, you become a conspiracy theory. So this is the kind of things that's been discussed by the scholars today, and how you move forward. So we're going back to Slido. I need your help to pull out your smartphones again. Just 3 questions, but these 3 final questions are the most important question of the day. So can we have the first question on the screen, please? So the question is, what are the major challenges that you are facing today? It's free, you can type. Earlier on, I gave you choice, it's easy to choose. But now you have to think and type. No business, demand. Of course, this is a word cloud. If the word come out more often, then the no business will become bigger and bigger. So that is the major concern, no business. So if no business, where do you get business? Uncertainty. Travel restriction is your concern. Why? You're planning to travel for holiday or going back home in a different country? So all this information that you have just shared with us, this is what I'm going to share with my set. Uncut, unfiltered. So these are your concerns. No client spending. I'm just talking to a venue, which I will not mention who. They mentioned that even the corporate companies are not doing events. They're so used doing event on virtual now. Thank you for sharing your concern. Can we have the second question, please? Do you think Malaysia business event need a rebranding? Remember earlier on I asked you about rebranding? You still believe that we need rebranding. Wow. You are on a survival mode and you need rebranding. That's good. So you have money, do you want to spend on rebranding or to survive? But it's okay, you can answer yes, no, not sure. Can we go on the final one? Because this event is called Meet in Malaysia. So easy that my set came up with the word Meet in Malaysia. Meet in Malaysia doesn't mean that you have to have 10,000 people coming. It could be 3 people, 10 people, 100 people. But if you have the choice, how would you give the tagline for Malaysia business event in less than 3 words? We'll be able to track you. We might have some surprise gift at the end of the day. Not sure. Okay, that's 2 words. That's okay, less than 3 words. Malaysia for world. Malaysia event evolve. Malaysia boleh, tak boleh, because that one Malay word need to be more international maybe. Selamat datang, visit Malaysia now. They cannot visit Malaysia now, they cannot come here now. But that's a good try. Keep sending put your thinking cap. I know we are tired because it's after lunch, but really appreciate you giving us this feedback. So it's safe here. Okay, this is the biggest thing that I always had against, because even before COVID, a lot of destinations sell themselves as a safe destination. I'm one of them that doesn't believe in the word safe, because anything can happen. You can fly into a country, walk into the airport, after the immigration, you slip and fall and die. That can happen. So you cannot claim you are a safe country. Anything can happen. But anyway, is there anything that is good? Layankan je. I like that one. I'm not sure what it's supposed to mean, but layankan je, like just do. Bringing business back, Noor is awesome. That's not a tagline for myself or Malaysia. That's totally wrong. YNWA. Who says YNWA? I'm just curious. YNWA. Who says that? I know YMCA, YMWCA, but not YNCA. What is that? No idea. Okay, we'll move. Thank you for the question. Can we go back to the slides? So earlier on, like I told you, I was supposed to talk about sustainability in today's business event. This is a hot topic. I've given you some concept. I've thrown some question, because it's not just my session, it's your session. The feedback that we get is obviously we are in a difficult time, in a trying time, unprecedented times, uncharted times. And how do we move forward? I don't have the answer, unfortunately. But I think one of the keywords that have been mentioned so many times by so many speakers, I'm sure that you have seen so many webinars, is collaboration. So I'm using this particular photo of an orchestra. An orchestra, they have all these fantastic musical instruments, but you will not have the best song if there's no collaboration between all the artists. You need to have a collaboration. So imagine you as a community, the business event industry. Without the collaboration, we will not survive. There might be some companies who will not be able to survive this COVID. There will be some casualties. But how does this industry move forward? In Malaysia today, we have 4, 5, 6 convention centers, and we have hundreds of hotels. This morning, I was talking to a group of beautiful ladies from different hotels in KL. They're all saying that the rack rate now is at least 50% off. I also spoke to a gentleman from Sabah, and he said this is the best time coming to KL because he can stay at Mandarin Oriental at a very cheap price, cheap compared to before. So this is the situation that we are in today. So without collaboration, we will not be able to move forward. And when we talk about collaboration, I want to share you a photo of my local hero. He has done a fantastic job, Dato' Oi Yao Jin. I'm sure that most of you know him. If you are born in 1960s or 50s or 40s, and the younger generation might not know him that well. But this is the kind of collaboration concept that I want you to think. And of course, in closing, Meet in Malaysia, I would say it's more like Malaysia innovate Malaysia. Remember, I was telling you earlier on that we are doing the copy economy, exactly what other people are doing. So we need to come out from that comfort zone and create and innovate the new Malaysia, especially in the business event industry. Because if we don't do, this industry will collapse. And I'll give you my last thought of the day. The reality is this. Look at this photo. It's an article of a surgeon who's been working almost 24 hours a day in France. Tristan, nothing got to do with you, but this has happened to be from France. It's a real story. He's seeing people dying almost every hour at the beginning of COVID coming to France. The reality is bad. We are so lucky and fortunate to be here today. And that's the biggest point that I want to share. And despite all the gloomy situation I'm telling you, I hope with some song, some sports, Datuk Raja Gopal was here earlier today, giving us inspiring talk. And my last local hero, you always need to have that humor in life. My local hero is Datuk Lat. When I'm on lockdown, this is what I've been doing to keep myself survive and still to be sane. I had a lot of cartoon book from Datuk Lat, and I've been reading about all his cartoon, all those funny thing about Tun M and Sami Velu, I'm sure that most of you remember that. And these are the things that will keep us for a long, long time. In a couple of days, we're going to celebrate our Hari Kemerdekaan, which also happened to be my birthday. So happy birthday to me and Hari Kemerdekaan to you. Thank you.